There are films that mark a clear before and after in romantic cinema. This is one of them. In 2005, a novel first published in 1813 reaches the big screen, Pride and Prejudice. At the helm is a first-time film director, Joe Wright, who manages a feat that seemed far from obvious, bringing Jane Austen into the 21st century without betraying her essence. What today appears as a natural success was, in reality, a journey filled with obstacles. Before reaching theaters, the film faced casting doubts, risky creative choices, and a demanding shoot, especially for its young director. And it is precisely from these challenges that the film's unique character is forged, one that continues to move millions of viewers to this day. In this story, we travel back to the mid-2000s to discover how one of the most beloved adaptations of Jane Austen's work was born, how its most iconic scenes were filmed, and how it became a landmark of 21st century romantic cinema. It is 2005. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire dominates the box office with its fourth installment. Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith closes the prequel trilogy. And on television, Lost keeps millions of viewers hooked. In a landscape dominated by fantasy and science fiction, Focus Features decides to take a risk, to recover a classic by Jane Austen, and to present it in a fresher, more contemporary way. The project must set itself apart from the famous 1995 BBC miniseries starring Colin Firth, a version that had become a true cult phenomenon. That Darcy already had a face deeply etched into the collective imagination. And the idea of a new adaptation generated both fear and enormous expectations. For this reason, the producers choose Joe Wright, a British director who, until then, had worked exclusively in television. His mission is clear: to create a Pride and Prejudice that is less rigid, more grounded, more alive, with a cinematic gaze capable of bringing Jane Austen closer to younger generations. The first major step is renewing the faces of the two protagonists, Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. After seeking a balance between faithfulness to the characters and the studio's desire for recognizable names, the choice for Elizabeth falls on a very young actress, just 19 years old, fresh from the success of Pirates of the Caribbean. Her name is Keira Knightley. For the role of Darcy, several actors are considered, but in the end, the part goes to Matthew Macfadyen, a British actor with an intense gaze, capable of conveying both pride and vulnerability. At the time, still relatively unknown to international audiences. Donald Sutherland joins the cast as Mr. Bennet, despite initial doubts about his suitability for a period drama. Rosamund Pike plays Jane Bennet, the eldest sister. Simon Woods takes on the role of Charles Bingley. The rest of the cast blends experience and youth. Tallulah Riley, Carey Mulligan, and Jenna Malone play the remaining Bennet sisters. Brenda Blethyn becomes the anxious and frenetic Mrs. Bennet, and Judi Dench joins the film as the formidable Lady Catherine de Bourgh. The screenplay, written by Deborah Mogok together with Joe Wright, steps away from the original text just enough. The goal is to remain faithful to the spirit of the novel, not to its rigidity. The story is set in 1797, the period in which Jane Austen wrote the first draft of the novel, a choice that allows the film to adopt a more realistic and less idealized tone. Emma Thompson, already an actress and screenwriter for Sense and Sensibility, helps refine the dialogue, adding irony, rhythm, and naturalness to the conversations. But the real turning point is the visual approach. Joe Wright wants everything to feel authentic, real, lived in. Messy kitchens, unwashed dishes, animals running through courtyards, costumes that truly reflect the Bennet family's social status. Filming lasts about 11 weeks and takes place entirely in England, often in real locations. Wright insists on using natural light, a beautiful choice, but one that makes the English weather a constant challenge on set. The opening sequence is already a statement of intent. a long tracking shot that follows Elizabeth across the fields and then into the house. It requires meticulous rehearsals and perfect coordination among the cast, but it immediately introduces the chaotic energy of the Bennet family. From this atmosphere come moments of improvisation as well. The most famous is Darcy's hand flex, after helping Elizabeth into the carriage, a gesture not written in the script, but destined to become one of the most iconic symbols of the film's romantic tension. With filming complete, post-production begins. Dario Marianelli composes the score. A soundtrack dominated by the piano, enriched with delicate orchestral touches, one that plays a decisive role in shaping the film's emotional atmosphere. The cinematography by Roman Osen reinforces the sense of naturalism and breaks away from the glossy aesthetic typical of period films. Before its release, the film travels through several international festivals, generating anticipation and curiosity. On November 2005, Pride and Prejudice is finally released in theaters. In the English countryside live Mr. and Mrs. Bennet, along with their 5 daughters, Jane, Elizabeth, Mary, Kitty, and Lydia. Mrs. Bennet has a single goal: to secure a good marriage for each of her daughters, especially because the family estate will pass to their cousin, Mr. Collins. The arrival of the wealthy and kind Charles Bingley changes everything. With him comes his friend, Mr. Darcy. Bingley quickly falls in love with Jane, while between Elizabeth and Darcy a relationship is born, made of misunderstandings, pride, and prejudice. Through rejected proposals, revealing letters, and family scandals, such as Lydia's elopement with the unscrupulous Wickham, the 2 protagonists are forced to reconsider their beliefs. Only when Elizabeth understands Darcy's true nature and he proves his love through concrete actions do the 2 finally manage to truly meet one another. Elizabeth accepts his proposal, and with her father's consent, their love triumphs. Critics welcome the film with enthusiasm. Joe Wright's direction is widely praised, and above all, Keira Knightley's performance, which earns her her first Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. The film also receives nominations for production design, costume design, and original score. Although it does not win any Oscars, Pride and Prejudice leaves a lasting mark. A new generation discovers Jane Austen, and scenes like the Walk in the Rain or the Dawn Confession become part of popular culture. Today, 20 years later, the 2005 Pride and Prejudice is considered not only one of the most beloved adaptations of Austen's work, but also one of the most influential romantic films of the 21st century. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel to show your support. And if you'd like to keep going, here's another video from our channel that you might enjoy.